My name is Abay Asılхан. I study in the ninth grade. I go to school at Binal Altul Sadin, and my teacher is called Umagulsum Bazarbayhu. Today we're going to be covering the topic of clauses of purpose. So we're going to start the lesson off with a recap. I'm going to introduce you to relative clauses, their types, and then we're going to be mastering relative clauses, and then at the end we're going to do a summary of what we have learned so far. So first types of relative clause. But first, before we go into that, I'm going to tell you about the clause of purpose so we have a master understanding of what we're going to be covering. So a clause of purpose tells us why someone does something and the reason for the action. So for the example, I study hard so I can pass a test. So if I want to pass this test, I'm going to need to study hard. So why did I study hard? So I could pass a test. And so first thing is in order to and so as to, plus we're going to be adding a verb at the end. We use these to explain the reason for doing something. So for example, she wakes up early in order to catch the bus. Why does she wake up early in order to catch the bus? So she could so she could catch the bus. So if she wants to catch this bus, she's gonna have to wake up early. So and then he works hard to save the money for a new phone. He works hard as to save money for a new phone. Why does he save up money? So he can get a new phone. So in order to and so as to, they mean practically the same thing, and that is to. They mean the same thing. And then second, we're going to be covering so that plus can slash will. We use these when the result is in the present or future. So this is the past, this is the present, and this is the future. So use can or will to show the result in the future. I'm studying English so that I can get better at speaking. Right now, you might be not good at speaking English, so you have to study English now. So in the future, you can get better at studying and getting better at English every day.
Mhm.
She's going to the gym every day so that she will get stronger. Why is she going to gym? So in the future, she can get stronger and fit.
Well, good.
So that plus could slash would. But now that we covered the present and the future, we're going to be now going back to the past. So we use that when the result is in the past, like I just said. He left early so that he could catch the train. Why did he leave early to catch the train? So, like the girl who wants to wake up early to catch the bus. Why did he leave early? So he has enough time to catch the train. I
Mm.
explained it twice so she would understand. Like this is me explaining it to you twice. It's the first time you might have not realized what I'm talking about, but the second time you realize. So this was in the past. Why did I have to explain it twice? So to help you understand relative clauses.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we're gonna be going over how to write negative clauses of purpose. So we just covered in order to and so as not to. No, so as to. But I'm gonna be putting a twist to it with adding not in the middle of the in order not to and so as not to, and then we're gonna be adding a verb at the end. We use these to explain why someone avoids doing something, so the opposite of doing something. She spoke quietly in order not to wake up the baby. So to wake up the baby, you need to be very loud, but the result is negative. You don't want to wake up the baby. So in this example, she spoke quietly in order not to wake up the baby. So she avoided doing something. So the negative result doesn't happen. Then we can go so that plus can slash won't. This is the present and the future. We use that so we can explain why does something to stop something else from happening. So I'm closing the door so that he won't come inside. So I closed the door so he is unable to get inside of the house. I did this in the present, so in the future he can't get in. And then we're going to be going back to our friend called past. So that plus couldn't slash wouldn't. It's in the past. We use these to explain something why someone avoided doing something, avoided in the past. So I didn't tell her the secret so that she wouldn't get upset. If I were to tell her the secret, which would have made her upset, and I didn't want that to happen, so I did not tell her.
Well,
That's it.
good. Mhm.
Um, So there is actually a simpler way to remember. So in order to and so as to plus verb. It's a positive purpose, something you want to happen, something you strive to do. So I study hard in order to pass the test. And then in order not to, so as not to plus verb. This is the same thing, but instead we're going to be doing the opposite. It's a negative purpose to avoid something, to want something not to happen. So he stayed quiet in order not to get in trouble. It's like the
Mm.
baby. If you wake up the baby, you get in trouble. You don't want this to happen, so you stay quiet instead of loud. And then the third is so that plus can slash will slash could slash would to explain the reason very clearly. So example that is in the present, in the middle. I practice every day so that I can get better at football. So every day I study now. I practice so I can get better at football. So in the future, I get better at football. And now in the past, he studied hard so he could pass the exam. He studied very hard and intensively so he could pass the exam.
Well, good.
And then this is the practice. If you want to do it now, then check with me. But if you want to double check for yourself, here are the answers shown below.
Mm-hmm.